o whakahoha a te ahoni, a uoa no December, ua no wataha me lat Canberra. Koe pongpong pule lulu whakaofo ofa e ni he koro moa, maafana, le leipea na tula, tau whakawhita i pe tau ke la mao e mānawa i he pongpongini. O mo ua au pite pule anga Australia he teu ke Kilisimasi, wane ngahi potu ngawe o tatau te fito ke kau polisi, mo potu ngawe mo ui, hange koe whale mahaki, ke mahino ku malu e whanua, mo i kakai o Australia, ke bauhanga ki te Kilisimasi, o whakaosi bauti. Pea ku mau mahino i pe e maho inga e whainga pe, ke malu e kakai mo nau whamili, ko hi koe mahaki COVID i tahaiwa, o ku toi lele i heni Australia, New South Wales, o ngahi state. Koe kakai o whanua ni up nau, mo ua pe te teu, mo nau ngahi whamili ke Kilisimasi. Pea neo ngō kulele mahaki koe ni, ka oku nau whainga pe, ke si isi e ni wisia ki nau tōru. Koe pongpongi ni koe Polokalama Makehe ke Kilisimasi ai University lo au. Ko whakamālo i ai, ai kakai na nau kau mai, mo tuku o nau taimi, ke whakahoko e Polokalama Mitiafaifio ai University lo au. Koe kakai la lahi, koe whangi whanau, na nau kau mai i he ngai Polokalama Mitiafaifio. O kui heni PALOFESA SIOSIUA LAFITANI, ke whakahoko ate Polokalama, ko ini mo whakahoko ate whakamālo ai POATE lo au. E toi o atu pe, o kulotongo o atu pe, he taimini i he Polokalama ko ini, i he lea whakapapālangi, ke lava si kakai o koe te nau lava i e tau lea, o mahi noi ai Polokalama ko ini, he pongpongini. We acknowledge the First Nations people of Canberra, the Ngunnawal and Ngabri people, who have been custodians of this country from the past, the present, and into the future. We acknowledge the presence here of Crown Prince TUPOU of Tonga and his house, who are currently residing in Canberra. Her Royal Highness Princess LATUKEFU, the Tongan High Commission here, the political leaders of this country, the representatives of Pacific Islander communities here in Australia. Today is the 22nd day of December 2021. It's a beautiful summer's day here in Canberra. It's warm and we are grateful to still have breath of life today. Today is a special program to thank and acknowledge all the people of all ages who joined us in the multimedia programs. Today, this program is dedicated to you, to thank you for your ongoing support to this program, and our hope that you will join us again next year in 2022. Also here with me is Professor SIOSIUA LAFITANI to bring this program to you. Thank you so much.
Whamalo, LUSEANE ki he whakatapu, whakatoa, pia mohono taritari e lea whakatonga, pia mo whakapapalangi, hoi ki mo tauka ainga o mea mai. Ko e aho maho i ngā eni, ki he University lo au, aho maho i ngā ki he tonga kotoa pe, ai whakamanatua ai amanake aloi o tamasiprini skawi. O University. Pea whamalumalo e pe tala malo e whanua lo tū mo e ako, ki he whakatapu, pe mo e taritali rei ko whai LUSEANE, kia ki moutoru hono kotoa pe mo mea mai. Kai tuku mai ke ma hoko atu ke tau Polokalama, te o wahoko atari he rea whakatonga, pe e whapapalangi a LUSEANE, pe te ma hoko PEHEE pe, kai ki mua ke mahoko ki e kau whaafika toa pēna nau kau mai, o lea. I he polokalama e me sitlo au talu. I he mahina ko epeleri o e tauni. Aku ta wa umaeni ki he mahina ko novema pia whawhiwhia lahi au pito. Whawhiwhia ta wa umai. Ka e kimoa ke o atu Makehe a e whaapa mo e whamalo ke kau whaafe ne o mai o lea. I he polokalamani ka kou whamalo atu ki he haweiki, kāinga, tonga, mo e sola, mo e vulango toa pe nā mou kau mai. Nā mou kau mai. I he ngahi talanoa, i he ngahi whakakaukau, i he ngahi whaka, i he sa ia mai he polokalama, i he whakaangai mai he polokalama, whawhiwhia. O atu e whamalo Makehe, kia ki moutoru kotoa pe. MEIA te au pe mo LUSEANE, pea mo e mau kau media, kau ngau e mau lok media, e mau whamalo lahi atu ka te moutoru kotoa pe. Kai tuku mua e whainga maari e koe ni ke ma hoko atu ai, ki he nau tōru na nau kau mai ilo au, mo ki nau tōru na nau kau mai meitua na mau whaafei mai. Kai o mai ke ma hoko atu mo LUSEANE isa, ki he tau fuofua tokataha LUSEANE, pea koe ni tau kamata aki pe ai whamalo ki a PALOFESA, toketa stareki ata whinau. Whamalo lahi LUSEANE, neongo kuo wholau hora, pea kuo mapake wha, ka e kei alaha pe i hono tua ngape kei alaha pe foi wha. Whawhetai e PALOFESA stareki whinau, a e tuku mo ui, na ke whai mai o au ki ho o pekia. Ka te utuanga LUSEANE ki he lea whapaparangi.
We acknowledge, of course, this morning the passing of Professor Dr. Sitaleki Finau, who has passed away, but he was a very important member of our university board, and he was the Vice Chancellor, of course. Not only that, but he has been a great supporter of the Lo'au University since it started. Great supporter of this multimedia program since it started. We're going to miss him terribly. Our love and best wishes go to children and grandchildren, and we will miss this man, but his work shines on, and we will never forget him.
Te tau hoko atu LUSEANE, te tau hoko pe, pa te tau kamata me he longa i whanau, pa tau alua i ki hoi ki whawhine, pa tau alua i ki hoi tangata hek toko lahi angi e tau hoi tangata. Kai tuku mai ke tau hoko atu ki e tau longa i whanau, ai au tau kamata ia pia me Solomone, Esto Orok. Solomone o ko whamalo lahi atu kia te koe Solomone, i o kau mai ke he polokalama pia ko o atu ai ofa lahi kia te koe me he university lo au, ko ngahi polokalama e whihana ke kau mai ai whawhetai. Ofa lahi atu kia te koe. Merry Christmas Solomone and a Happy New Year.
And of course you've got here on screen is Solomone Estro Ulro. He is 11 years old. Many interests this young man has. And this was the idea of inviting young people or children to join us in the program. The Lo'au University is supporting what the Australian government has, the Australian government has said it's so important to get kids learning, reading, talking. So that was the idea of when we had our multimedia program, is to invite children to to come and share books that they know, books that they read, their interest, toys that they love, whatever it is that they had in mind, we invite them to come and talk. So Solomone was our first child that came and
Sairi rau hoko atu ki he e tau lea hoko, ai a ko maila LATUKEFU ia, pe a tau taritari e ni ke asi mai a maila, ko e ni ku ke i tuku mai he kau teknisi ni a maila ki mua LUSEANE.
Myla, I really enjoy talking to Myla. She is Luisa LATUKEFU and LATUKEFU's grandchild, and a very busy young person Myla is. She's also an actor. She's currently, I think they're shooting a movie at the moment, so she's very busy doing that. She does a lot of work for our ABC Broadcasting Commission station here in Australia. So Myla, thank you so much for talking to us, and hopefully you'll have some time in your busy schedule to come back and talk to us next year. Thank you, Myla. Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year.
Whamalo ata te maila ke te koe, whamalo i o tuku taimi ke kau mai ai, o whalehat ke te koe maila, pa ke Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Ka e tuku mai ke tau hoko atu ki he e tau tokotaha hoko.
So next person who is waiting to come through, and you know, with technology, sometimes you can't make it do what you want it to do. It'll do what it wants to do when it's ready. So next cab on the rank, I think we have Mishka Boronovsky, but we'll have to wait and see if Mishka is going to pop in. Sometimes what we decide to do in a program is not what usually happens. But here we go.
Oh, here we go, Mishka. Oh,
we have
Mishka.
young Mishka. Mishka, who is 9, an amazing young person this young boy is. His father, Dr. Adam Boronovsky, is also one of our university supporters, and he's also one of the adults who comes in to do program. But Mishka has a varied interest in all sorts of things, loves reading, reads books that are way beyond his years, and he understands them. So the couple of programs he came to do was about the books that he reads, or currently reading. Thank you, Mishka. Look forward to seeing you next year, and to catch up with what you've been up to since your last program. Merry Christmas, Mishka, and a Happy New Year, and have a very safe Christmas too. So that was young Mishka.
Malo bito LUSEANE ko o whalahiat ke te koe Mishka, malo au bito ki ngai Polokalama e ua maha LUSEANE,
Yes,
na e whae Mishka o whalahiat ke te koe Mishka.
Yes.
Ka e sai LUSEANE ke tā hoko atu ki he e tau tokotaha hoko.
Yes, whilst we're doing that, SIOSIUA, I would just like to talk a little bit about Christmas, some of the stuff that happens, because we think that Christmas is what happens, what we do here is what happens everywhere else in the world. But you know, there are some governments around the world who don't actually recognize Christmas. They have a different holiday, they have a different public holiday at the end of the year, like countries like Afghanistan, China, Hong Kong actually celebrates Christmas. There's Iran, Israel, Japan and Laos. Some of these countries, they have a different way of celebrating the end of the year. You know, there's the United Arab Emirates, Vietnam, and also because there are different religions in these countries, and so what they might be celebrating is to do with their religious programs at the end of the year. So, you know, if we look at countries like Germany, they're a little bit similar to what we do here in Australia. They exchange gifts, but they do it on Christmas Eve, not on Christmas Day. And this was actually introduced to Germany by none other than Martin Luther, who felt that Christmas Day should focus on the birth of Christ. Focus on baby Jesus and when he was born, and not on gifts. So what he decided, what he thought was better, he said, you give your gifts on Christmas Eve, and on the next day, Christmas Day, you celebrate the birth of Jesus. So, like when you look at countries, say for instance like Russia, Christmas is celebrated in January 7th because of the 7th day differences between the newer Gregorian calendar and the older Julian calendar. So these are some of the reasons why Christmas is celebrated differently or celebrated on different days. Just a little bit of thing there for you to think about. So, Siwa, who do we have next?
Okay, koe tau alu koe ni LUSEANE koe Seane ko tangata ini ko Wolfi.
Master Wolf.
Whakamalo atu Wolfi ki ho kau mai ki he Polokalama o whalahi atu ki ate koe mane mo miska. Seane?
Wolf Alexei Togemoana Astor. And I didn't mention before, but Solomon is my grandson. And Wolf is also my grandson. So it's really lovely to see these young men, young boys come in and do program and to talk. Because it is quite, it's quite daunting for young people to be sitting talking to a camera. Anyway, Wolf has a big interest of then with dinosaurs. And so he came and talked about dinosaurs. And a little bit of, he also talked about what happened when dinosaurs left this earth. So thank you, Wolf. I look forward to talking to you again next year because I know your interest is very different now. This is why it's so exciting, Siwa, to see these young people because they will grow and mature in this program. We will watch the changes, with them in this program. Thank you, Wolf.
Malo with the Wolfie. Seane, tau hoko atu ki he tau Polokalama hoko. Tari koni tau tari ki he kau teknisini ke nau tuku mai. Ai tau tangata hoko.
And the next person is, it's like that. I think there's a TV program. And the next person is?
Ange ko ku kai ke loto a Wolfia ke mawahe atu kai hoko mai tama hoko.
I'm not surprised.
Ko Jacob Junior po hiva. JJ, ko eni oku lotonga tuku mai he kau tama. Ko the beautiful boy, beautiful boy.
There he is, Jacob Junior, Jacob Bohiva Junior. He's a young man with many, many talents, and he's a junior judo champion. He's won a few medals, and it'll be great for you people that are watching today. If you haven't seen these young people, go into our website on Facebook, and you can watch all these programs featuring them. Jacob Jr. Is a busy boy, lives in Canberra with his family. His brother is another champion, judo champion. So it's great to follow. What we do is we follow through with them and their progress during the year. So thank you so much, Jacob Jr. or JJ, for joining us. And we look forward to talking to you again next year. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Safe Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Ovalahi atu.
Malolahi atu Kia Junior, JJ, malo au vito whakahoko e tau Polokalama, na ke kau mai he Polokalama koe au whawhiawhia. Ma o whalahi atu ka te koe, malo au vito. Kai tuku LUSEANE ke tau hoko atu ki he tau toko taha hoko, aia koe toko walahi pe o Jacob ko Paula Monta. Ko Paula Monta ku hoko mai o iku matau kainga.
Next one is coming up is to say thank you to is Paula Monta, who is Jacob's big brother. He is an amazing young man also. He is the Australian judo champion 2021. I think, an upcoming Olympian. So we follow this young man, these two young men, carefully and watch their progress. They're amazing. Have a look at their program. You know, they talk about their families, how important their families are, which is what we hope that our young people think is important. But they are, their parents, Lavinia Ma'upohiva and Jacob Bohiva, wonderful parents, and you can see that because of the progress of their children. Thank you so much, Paula Monta, for coming on the program. Have a wonderful, safe Christmas and a happy New Year, and we will see you in 2022.
Whamalo atu Paula, mahalo au vito, o whalahi atu te koe Paula, i o kaumai ke he tau Polokalama, na e lawa mahalo ho Polokalama e ua, e LUSEANE, ai kauma a Paula o whaat te koe Paula, mahalo au vito ku whawhiawhia pia, e toi hoko atu pe i he tau fo he New Year, e tau whanonga Paula ke hoko hoko lelei pe o Polokalama. Ka e tuku LUSEANE ke tau whoki mai ki he tau hoko hoko atu, pe ko hai eni o ku hoko mai he tau.
While we're waiting for the technicians to bring us back on, I just want to say that gifts are open on Christmas Eve also in Norway. Norway. So there's Germany, there's Norway, and you know, SIOSIUA, when I was growing up, we opened our gifts on Christmas Eve also. That's how our mother wanted it. So, and we quite enjoyed doing that. And you know what, I think it's a really good idea, because when you think about it, kids do not sleep Christmas Eve because they're waiting for that to wake up in the morning, and they wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning wanting to open their gifts. So I reckon the idea of Christmas Eve presents is a great idea. That means the kids can go to sleep, wake up on Christmas Day and not be tired, because we all know about children being so tired on Christmas Day and having tiny little tantrums and being upset. So that's just another little thing. So I guess most of Europe, they do open presents on Christmas Eve. So who's next, SIOSIUA? We're still waiting. So while we're still waiting, in Iceland, Iceland, what happens in Iceland? They celebrate Yule, which is linked to winter solstice. Celebrations dating back thousands of years before Christmas was even started. So in fact, many Christmas traditions are taken from the Yule celebrations. And this begins 4 Sundays before December the 24th. And then it finishes on January the 6th, 13 days after. So 13 days before December 24th, children actually leave their shoes out by the window, and they believe that the Yule people, little trolls living in the mountains, come and leave presents in their shoes. So there you go. Then they go to Mass like most people do on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day they open their presents, spend time with their families. So we are still talking about similarities of how people celebrate Christmas and non-similarities of how people celebrate the end of the year or the holiday season. How's our technicians coming, SIOSIUA? Have they appeared yet?
Te tau alu lewa ki ai LUSEANE.
Thank you.
Te mauwe ke tau alu ki ai ke tau wakai ko hai e tau toko taha hoko. Te koe ni ko tau ua umai ki ai.
It's like a surprise parcel. You don't know until you open it.
Iyo until he kunau. Koe kau teknisi ni pe me kunau whakahoko mai LUSEANE ko koe ta whakahoko pe kanau toko iyo. Ko Lavinia nau whahu tuni tau wene.
There you go. Lavinia tuni tau nau whahu. She's actually our broadcaster here in Canberra on CMS Radio 91.1, multicultural programs. But she gave us some time and came to do a program about her memories of Canberra and people who came to Canberra in the early beginning. Thank you so much, Lavinia, for joining us, and hope you have a wonderful, safe Christmas, you and your beautiful husband, and hopefully maybe in the near future we might see you again, or not. But it all depends. She's a very busy person, but these are the people, wonderful people who came to join us during the year and shared their time, shared their stories with us. And you know, listening to someone's stories it's a really exciting thing to do. I love listening to people and their stories. But that was Lavinia. Naufahu, Tunitao. Thank you so much.
Malo abidolania, malo e kaumai, ofat katikoi, te PEHEE kia moeaki, pea moe family, malo e kaumai. Kai tuku LUSEANE ke tau hoko atu ki he tau toko taha hoko ko Sharon. Ko Sharon e no ku kiu mai mo tokori mai ke mo tuku mai a Sharon ki he tau ia ko Sharon e.
Sharon was all the way from Melbourne. She came here to have a bit of a holiday, and we caught her on the run. So we asked her to come in. Sharon has a really, I guess, really big interest in DNA. So she actually came to talk about DNA and her findings and her research. She's a very busy person with the DNA groups in Melbourne. She helps people look for family, helps people look for little things that they need to know about themselves and about their families in the past. So she's a very important person in the DNA, I guess, investigations, not only in Australia but worldwide. So thank you, Sharon Bartley, for joining us on the media program. Maybe when you pop in again next year, you can come and talk to us again. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful end of year celebration and a safe New Year.
I o whamaloat ke te koe Sharon, whamaloat u kia Steve, ki ono wha o mai koe, o whaat kia te moua koe ki taritari pe LUSEANE ke asi mai a Sharon. O ko Sharon eno ko asi mai pia toi puri atu pe i he screen ka te tau toi foki pe ki ai.
Ki whakasiosio mai pe.
Iyo, ki whakasiosio mai koe mahalo LUSEANE koe take i taritari koe ka Sharon o ko wakai ke tau kau teknisini po ko hai e hoko mai. Koe na kutoe. Iyo.
She on? There you go.
Iyo ka pau ke fie ho mai LUSEANE koe ni ko Sharon.
Yes.
Malo apito Sharon. Teke whai ho storytelling pe te ta hoko at whaongongat pe LUSEANE.
Tala no koe ke kau technicians. There's Sharon on screen now. Thank you, Sharon Bartley.
Yeah.
But while you're talking to the technicians, let me tell you a little story about what happens in Egypt. Because what I thought it would be interesting to, you know, how we start off by what other countries are doing. And as we know that the Christmas celebrations is Christian based. So in Egypt, there's 15% of people that are Christian. And only, so that means only part of the population celebrate Christmas as a religious festival. So the most Egyptian Christians belong to the Coptic Orthodox Church, and they have some very, very unique traditions for Christmas. So Christmas Day is not celebrated on the 25th of December, but on the 7th of January, like Iceland, like some of the other countries, and like Ethiopia. So, but they do. They celebrate, but not until the 7th of January. So the month that leads up to Christmas is called the Kiach. In Egypt, people sing beautiful songs of praise Saturday nights before the Sunday service. And so 43 days before Christmas, from the 25th of November to the 6th of January, the Coptic Christians have a special fast where they basically, all they eat is a vegan diet. They fast, vegan diet. They don't eat anything containing products that come from animals. And that's including chicken, beef, milk, whatever. This is called the Holy Nativity Fast. But if people need to eat, of course they allow them to eat. Then what happens Christmas Eve, 6th of January, they go to church for a special service, and it starts at about 10:30 p.m. and then they'll meet friends and families, and after the service, usually the service go until 4 a.m. So starting at about midnight until 4 a.m. And then at the end of that, then they break their fast. So that's just a little bit of interest about what happens in Egypt. A little bit different, the food's a bit different, and the celebrations are different, but still celebrating. So are we ready, Siwa? Do we have anyone sitting by or waiting to come on?
Yeah, ko ni LUSEANE o ko mai ko tau alu ni ki a Lavinia Pohiva.
Lavinia Pohiva. So Lavinia Pohiva is the mother of JJ, Jacob Jr. Pohiva, and Paula Modda that we spoke to you about before. And she's a young mother who's very busy at work. They moved here from New Zealand, and she comes on to talk to us about what's interesting with her work in mental health, and we're hoping to see her again in the near future next year. So is Lavinia there? Can we see her? Is she appearing or not appearing?
Ia ko ke whaonga pe Lavinia, ko ni ko ke mo pe Lavinia he ke teu ke hu mai LUSEANE. Ka ku sai pe ko ni ku tau ke whaonga pe ki ai. Ka ku ate whamalo ka te koe Lavinia, whamalo ka te koe I e taimi ko toa pe ku ke kau mai ai ke Polokalama I lo au pe whamalo at ka te koe I ho lava vahe mai a ho ilo mo poto ki he lo au. Ko ni LUSEANE tau ke taritari pe ka Lavinia o ku te kai ke asma Lavinia po ka hame o ku ki foloa mai a Lavinia ku tui pe ku mei asma a Lavinia.
I guess what would be great if we just keep going with the names. If they make an appearance, be great. If they can't make an appearance, that's okay too. But we still want to wish Lavinia Ma'upohiva and her family a very safe Christmas and a very safe New Year. And hopefully we see you next year. And I know that they are preparing also for Christmas, she and her family. And I think Siwa, even though Lavinia is not making an appearance, but her work here in Canberra is really important. And it'd be grateful when she comes to talk to us about what she does at work, and especially with mental health.
Io kai tuku mai ke tau hoko atu ke toko taha hoko LUSEANE, ai ko hoko ko Serene. Ko Serene ni o ko ho mai ko na ko Serene na ko I loto LUSEANE ka te u whafoket ka te koe ka ko ate whamalo ke te koe Serene ho kau mai ke Polokalama MALO vitu ai kau mai o vahe mai a ho
I actually can't really see Serene. I think she must be I can see myself in that frame, but not quite. Serene's not appeared yet.
Koe te tuku mai ange. Aro nau ke ngā aue mai ki ono whaho mai koe na ko Serene na MALO.
There's young Serene. Thank you so much, Serene. And I know she's in Tonga at the moment, even though she's a Māori woman from Aotearoa, but she's with her wonderful husband in Tonga. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas, Serene, and a Happy New Year, and have a very safe Christmas there in Tonga. I know you're going to have a wonderful Christmas. We do miss Tonga, and we miss seeing you, but thank you so much for joining us on the multimedia program here at Lo'au. Look forward to some more conversations with you. Thank you. Ofatu.
Tau whakmai LUSEANE ke tau hoko atu ko whawhangu na ko tā mai ko tau ofi pe ki tau alu ki he konga whaosi e tau polokalama ke tau wao ke hoi tangata o toe e tau whiwhine whakaawheta.
Yes.
LUSEANE.
So maybe while you bring that special person up, I will talk a little bit about Israel. What happened in Israel. So you bring her on screen as soon as you can, and I'll talk to you a little bit about Israel. You know, the Christmas story started in Israel, but Christmas is not celebrated in the country at all. Only about 2.5% of the population of Israel are Christian. So Christmas isn't a public holiday at all in Israel. So, you know, a lot of people think, oh, Israel, that's where, you know, the child Jesus was born, so obviously they're going to... No, they're not Christian. As I said before, 2.5% of people, population in Israel are Christians. For most people in Israel, Christmas is a normal working day. And in major cities such as Jerusalem, it's unlikely that you see any signs of Christmas. No trees, no special lights, nothing. The Jewish festival, Hanukkah, is often celebrated around the same time as Christmas. So in 2021, Hanukkah will be from the evening of Sunday of the 20th of November until the evening of Monday the 6th of December. That's Hanukkah in Israel, not Christmas. So Christmas services and activities in Christian churches in Israel, the most famous might be the carol concerts held at the Domitian Abbey, which is a Benedictine monastery in the Church of Zion, on Mount Zion in Jerusalem. Most Jewish Israelis are starting to go to concerts like this. The YMCA in Jerusalem holds a big Christmas bazaar, as well as Christmas Eve concerts and sing-along. That's what happens in Israel. The largest population of Christians are in Nazareth. Nazareth. The town where Jesus grew up. So Nazareth has lots of Christmas lights on the streets, outdoor markets to celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah. So there's Christmas Eve parade, which ends at the Church of Annunciation, big fireworks display. This is at Nazareth. Midnight mass service. The parade presents a journey story. So when they traveled from Nazareth to Bethlehem, different Christmas groups take part in the parade, including Catholics, Orthodox, Anglicans, Maronites, as well as local Jews. So it's quite an event in Nazareth, in Israel, but there's no public holiday. It's Hanukkah that they celebrate there. So there you go. We talked about Bethlehem, Nazareth, what happens in Israel. So that's a little bit of story, Christmas story for us to hear and to take note of. And we have on screen. We have on screen the most beautiful. Lopenda, sorry. Sorry? Yes. There's Kat Lobendam, and as I said, most beautiful woman, all the way from Hawaii. And we miss you, Kat, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year. She had so many interesting things to say. Certainly. She's a true Loawan, and we miss seeing your beautiful face. Loau tukulau mea. That's it. And there you go. So I'm looking forward to seeing you next year. She's been quite a busy young woman, but I'm sure that we'll see her again next year. And of course, where are we going now, Siwa? Who are we going to see? Tau wakai pe ko hae ni o ku hoko mai ku tuku mai me he tau screen ai ko
Taualon ki hoi ki tangata Luseane pe aku kamata maia e tonga fuisia TUPOU aho katoanga ene o ku hoko mai ko ni tau whaongo atu kia ia ko ena.
Yes, so even though we've had tonga fuisia TUPOU just on one program, but he's going to be joining us for many more programs next year. So it was wonderful to see Fuofua and to listen to his story. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
So we wish you, tonga fuisia TUPOU, and your wonderful family a safe Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. O LAHI. See you next year.
Ko LUSEANE ko tonga fuisia ia ko fa malo an ka ko e tonga fuisia ya PEHEE ki ket ki hopo kau mai ki he Polokalama farna I PEHEE ma whenga mare mo wahe mai ai ilo mo poto. LUSEANE te tau wakai ni ki he tau hoko ki he tau tokotaha hoko mai. Aia ko whaiwhekau pita pua pe me family tu uia ko ni tau whaongo atu ke nau tuku mai ki he tau screen o ku nau whainga peo nau rerei taha LUSEANE ke nau.
You know, SIOSIUA, I must say, as soon as your technical people are a bit slow, I'm going to pop in with a story. So I want to take us to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Christmas in the Republic of Congo is more of a religious festival than a commercial one. So most people won't have presents, SIOSIUA. So all you lovely children who are getting hundreds and hundreds of presents, think about the children of the Congo. They don't, most of them don't have presents. So Christmas is very important with churches. They have a very big musical evening. Many churches have at least 5 or 6 choirs, just like in Tonga. Choirs are very important in Christmas, and a nativity play. So these plays last a very long time. They start in the beginning of the evening, and with the creation, Garden of Eden, and end with the story of King Herod killing the baby boys. Oh, that's a bit different. So people taking part in this show are people who can act really well. So they're chosen during the year to come in and put this big play on during Christmas. So the birth of Jesus is timed, the play of the birth of Jesus is timed to happen as close to midnight as possible. So there you go, they have all the things there. I'd love to go and see some of these plays, but this is what happens in the Congo. It's all about singing and praising and celebrating the birth of Jesus and being together as families and listening to people sing. There you go.
Malo LUSEANE ki ono huru mai ko ia sai au pito ia ki e tau whanau mo ka nau tau weke nau lavarea e tau rea nau tolu tau ka hainga ko ia nau ka mai io ko whaiwhikau pita pua me family tu o kunei loto LUSEANE malo.
There we go. There's the young Reverend Pita Pua, senior, who has been joining us for a few times actually on the multimedia program. And thank you so much, Reverend, for joining us and for sharing your experiences and for bringing your family to our multimedia program. We have enjoyed your company, and if you do have time next year, pop in to say hello. But thank you for joining us. We want to wish you and your family a very happy, safe Christmas and a Happy New Year. Malo o whātu.
Malo o whaiwhikau, malo a pito ho kau mai, pia mo e ngahi mahi na lahi, na ke kau mai ai ke ta wahe. Whikau aku mo e whamiri tū, pia mo e ngahi whaiwhatongia mahu inga aku mo whai, ki he I mōri pa pepo ki tonga, o whalahi atu kia te koe, malo au pito. Ka tau hoko atu e ni LUSEANE ki he tau tokotaha hoko, ai a koe.
How are we going, SIOSIUA? Are we getting near towards
the
middle?
Ko e tau alatueni I e tau ho e ki tangata. Mahalo toi ha tau toko hongo fulutupu.
Oh, si tak toko la.
Toko
Te
la.
aki ki mai ngā oe na whawhai ko tau po uri pek te ki tau amu o se Polokalama.
Tau hoka tueni ki a whaiwhikau nau a hosivi, ko nau o vawe au pito ko nau iau fu o mau pito ene.
O mau pito. Te e o mau pito nau.
Malo whaiwhikau ko nau a hosivi.
Thank you, Reverend Nau Ahasivi, for joining us for multimedia during the year. Thank you for your contact with us, and hopefully maybe you might pop in sometimes to say hello. We do appreciate your joining us on multimedia. We're hoping and wishing you have a very safe Christmas and a happy New Year with your family. Thank you.
Malo pito whaiwhikau nau a hosivi, ko malo atu i he tā i māmu mai tāna ke tuku mai ai ki whakahoko ai tau Polokalama. O whalaiat ka ti koe pia mo e whāmiri. LUSEANE, mahalo ku sai ki tau hoko atu. Tau hoko atu eni ki e tau toko taha hoko, tau mahalo pe.
Moving along.
Mahalo pe, mahalo LUSEANE ko whaamu ke tau ki mahalo lohen.
There's no rest for the wicked.
Tau hoko pe,
no rest for the wicked. Not saying that you're wicked, but you know, it's just a saying.
Yeah.
So how about we pop into Guatemala?
Tau alu ki Guatemala, tau alu ki Guatemala.
Very diverse country with more than 20 ethnic groups, and they all have their own different special traditions celebrating Christmas. So December the 7th at 6 p.m. an unusual custom called Le Quema del Diablo, the burning of the devil, takes place where a model of the devil is burnt. Then the 8th of December, the Feast of Immaculate Conception, a holy day for Catholics. Burning the devil before that is meant to be a way of getting bad things out of the way, ready for the new year. Maybe we could all do that, I guess, is get rid of all the bad stuff. Not burning the devil, I don't think about that, but just letting go of old bad habits and having good new habits to take them along. And this started way back. This tradition started way back when it was a Spanish colony. So people now still do that stuff, still burn the devil. So I guess we can say burning old bad habits. Most Guatemalans, like Latin American countries, plan and build with a nativity scene called a nacimiento or belen. And elements are now used in design and construction of this scene. The nacimiento is normally put under the Christmas tree, and I think they use all sorts of things to make this thing, and they put it under their Christmas tree. And on Christmas Eve, families celebrate together and eat their Christmas meal on Christmas Eve, not on Christmas Day. So they eat their traditional dishes, which some Guatemalan call tamales, and they're made. This dish is made from corn and rice and potato, and they can be sweet or not. So that's a little bit of stuff to know about this country of Guatemala and what they do. And I don't know, Sio, if you're making a noise because someone is coming through, or you're just agreeing to what I'm talking about. So that's. Do we have anyone waiting, Siwa? At all?
Sane tau hoko ia ko to taha ni o ku tarimai ke ta liliwat ki ai. Tau ki whangongo ki whetongi sin ai kautamami he tau teknisini ka koe ni o ku ta arat ki ai LUSEANE.
Ko mea whakoinisi o kai ke whaingofua he. Ai mea whakateknikale o kai peke o understand ia e au. Mahino ia e au ai ngahi mea koe ni whakahau ake Polokalama. Ka ko ilo i pe koe Polokalama koe ni koe whakamalo lahi ki a PALOFESA ILAIASI ofa I hene whao Polokalama mo whao studio mai ki tau ngawe ake. And here we have on screen none other than Professor Professor Greg Fry from the Australian National University, and he came in a couple of times to talk to us, and I think, and also he's been very, very busy, so hopefully in the near future, Professor Greg or Professor Fryer will come back and join us. So have a wonderful end of year celebrations, Professor Fry, and hopefully we will see you in the new year, and stay safe. Malo.
Malo abito Professor Greg Fry o falaihat katekoe kia en mo family malo abito e whakau mai o kamata mai e tau polokalama o ke whakatokotoka mai pia mo e tau kaunga ako i University of Fonua Australian National University. LUSEANE te ta whanonga tueni ki he tau tokotaha hoko, ko ni o ku tau liliwa tueni ki ai, kau alu atu pe ni e tau whanonga ke tau au pe ko Professor Sala George Carter from Samoa at the Australian National University.
All the way from Samoa and Australian National University here in Canberra. Professor Sala Carter, Dr. Carter. We were very happy to have you on the program and look forward to you coming again, even though you're a very busy person, but you have a lot to share with us and our audience. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful end of year celebration and a very safe new year. Ofalahi atu, Dr. Carter.
Malo abito kata talo falawa ku ofat katiko ki kau mai ke polokalama ofat katiko pe mo e family pe mo ngau e oku fai kai sai LUSEANE ke tau feinga tu pe ki moa ku tau